welcome back. You know, when it came to American class of the mid-60s in a two-door version of chiseled style and the large hips in the rear, well, it didn't get much better than the 1965 Corvette. And to tell us more, here's Karl Taylor. This is it. This is it. I'm just not, bullshitting to Karl here. This is it. This is the nicest 1965 car that I've actually sat in. Now, we've seen plenty on the show. There's something about this Corvette Stingray. This is the most delightful car. It's hard to believe it's 44 years old. I can't get over the extravagant styling. This is just incredible in here. It's like an aeroplane cockpit, but it still has a kind of a modern look about it as well. It's not that archaic, but what is archaic looks absolutely astounding. Karl, tell us more about this beautiful Stingray, mate.
Well, in 1965 they were called the C2, or the mid-years as the Corvette people know them. It's a full fiberglass body, powered by 327, 350 horsepower. Now,
I've just got to stop you there. Like, in 1965 we were getting around in HD Holdens.
Yeah, well, I think they had a few more designers than we had.
Carry on, mate. Tell us about the specs.
Okay, it's a 327 small block with 350 horsepower. And since I've had it, I've had a new 650 double pumper Holly. I put a set of headers on it and fixed the exhaust, made it a little bit higher to the car so it doesn't bottom out. It's got a 5-speed Tronic box, and it's got a set of American Racing Torque thruster 2 wheels on it, which set the whole car off, I think.
I think the Corvette Stingray is certainly on its own for their styling. They almost didn't have any competition with their body style.
No, they made a car that was completely different to anything else on the road, I think. Oh. Yeah, and today it still stops people in their tracks, and they like to stop you and have a talk to you about the car before you get in it.
Isn't it really special when we talk about the age of the vehicles on Classic Restos and their styling? Now, have a go at the style of the body on this car. Now, just stop for a moment and check this out. Up over the front of the guard, up past the door, through to the rear of the car, to the hips on this car. It's a style that when you're next to, I guess it's forgotten about until you see one, and when the photo came through on the Classic Restos, or photos at classicrestos.com.au, photo came through. As soon as I saw this car, I rang this guy straight away, and it was like, terrible notice, like within 2 days he was here. This is a very special car. Let's have a look at the doors for a moment. Now, one thing that struck me, Karl, have a go at the thickness of the door hinges. Mate, that's construction steel.
Yeah, I think they went a little bit overboard on it, but it's nice and solid, Fletch. It stayed like that for 44 years.
Mate, the doors wouldn't drop. The whole side of the car would fall off with the door still attached.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the underneath is just as strong as that. People say they're fiberglass, but they still weigh a fair bit. I think it comes in at about 1,400 kilos all up. Yeah, 1,400
kilos. That's the Dodge Dart, Chevy Nova. The smaller compact cars in the 60s with their big engines in them, which made absolute bullets down the quarter mile. The shiny stuff on the dash with the knob work, all that sort of stuff. We've got knob work. You like that? I haven't used that on the show before. You like that, Karl?
That's the same.
Knob work. Nothing like a bit of knob work, mate. We've got a clock in centre that still works. Now, that's also a rare thing. Not knocking anyone's car with an old clock that doesn't work. It's nice to see the original clock there. It's just a bonus when one turns up and it's still working after all this time. The dashboard, a 160 mile an hour speedo. Karl, you'd be hanging on.
I would like to try it, but I'm not game enough, Fletch.
Okay, so how long have you had the car, Karl? Tell us a little bit about what you've done.
Okay, I've had it for about 14 months. I bought it off some friends in Denver, Colorado, Jim and Kay Hilton, and he's into Corvettes in a big way. And he sent me a photo of the car, and it was for sale. And I said, well, I have to have that car. And I sold my other one and got this one in straight away. And it was a bit of a process to get it in, but it was fun in the end.
Oh. It's good to see left hook car hasn't been converted. That's nice. And you're not going to do that, eh, mate?
No, definitely not. I think you spoil them when you put them right-hand drive. And my wife, she's quite used to it now. She doesn't mind. She just tells me to keep left a little bit.
Yeah, that's for sure. So how does it drive? I mean, it's a nice car to drive?
It's a car, you know it's an older car, but on the highway it sits straight, it doesn't wander, it corners very well. You sure do feel a few bumps, but that's all part of driving a 1965 Corvette.
Oh, listen now, I've noticed that you've got a car club going on there in your shirt. Now, I like to support every possible car club I possibly can. People watching the show, if you've got a big event coming up, if you want Fletch here to turn up and do Classic Restos at your show, send me an email, fletch@itchybutt.com.au or photos@classicrestos.com.au. Get in touch with me and see if we can work something out. What's going on with your club?
Well, I'm a member of two clubs. The first one is the New South Wales Corvettes, and secondly is the All-American Car Club of Australia. But with the vets, we do quite a few runs. We take it out every week if we can. We took it to Brisbane and back recently for a display up there, and it was a great week to have a drive in the car.
Sensational. Well, Karl, it's come to that time of the show, mate, where I think we should turn the old key, mate, and get it out there on the freeway and go for a bit of a run, eh? What do you say?
I'm with you, Fletch.
Oh, good on you, mate. That's good. What side am I going to be sitting on?
What side do you want to sit on?
Ooh, there's another option. I'm going to get to drive.
Yeah, you can steer it.
This is the first time I've ever driven a 1965 Corvette Stingray, so it's going to be quite a ride.
Let's go.
All right. Thanks, Karl. Here we go, my friends. 1965 Corvette Stingray. First time I've ever driven one of these things. You know, it's just occurred to me, this is probably what the Shelby Cobras feel like. They've probably got a similar sort of a feel. Although this is not quite up in the same horsepower stakes, but it's of the same era, I guess similar weight, and in some respects similar style. Oh, mate, what a dream! This little Tremec gearbox here with the 5-speed and the little shift is just so positive in out. The gates are beautiful. It's just a gorgeous thing to drive.
You know, once you leave first into second, just straight away,
Yeah.
and it's so quick. There's really no effort in it whatsoever with that Tremec.
Karl, I just want to thank you, mate. Thank you so much for, well, number one, being on the show, and secondly, letting me drive this very special car for the first time for myself.
First, I'd like to thank you for bringing the show to the people, and also the sponsors who support the show. It's been great. Keep it up.
All right, stick around, because after the break we've got a technical segment on how to look after your extractors, put a coating on them, and man, they look pretty schmick. Catch you later.